Hi and welcome back. Peter Vaughan speaking. I'm going through our list here. We're up to Numerology Translation. So I'll tick that. Now, a lot of people think they know what numerology is. It's not about numbers. But it's all about numbers, surely. No, it's not about numbers. No different than speaking is all about letters. Oh, but you have to have letters to make up words. Well, sure. But at one stage in our past, letters and numbers were transferable. In the Bible, for example, in Genesis 17:5, where the story of Abraham, or Abram, his name was then, couldn't bear children. I mean, he was 99 and his wife was 90, go figure. But he had an adopted slave child, and he went and talked to God, and he said, God, do I give all of my worldly possessions basically to my slave child? And God said, no. You are this is a quote now, and you are no longer to be called Abram. Your name is to be Abraham, for I am making you father of many nations. I shall make you exceedingly fertile. Quote. The footnotes to that verse read thus: for the ancients, a name did not merely indicate, but actually made a thing what it was. And a change of name, it meant a change in destiny. Wow. So when I read that, and I've read other parts of the Bible as well, I was looking at what the ancients thought of, but most people have overlooked this completely. Your name is your destiny, because after Abram became Abraham and his wife Sarai became Sarah, the addition of the letter H, basically, they were able to produce children. Now, isn't it funny? H is one of the letters that help produce children in people's makeup and their names, or the number of that letter. So when I talk about numerology and translation, I'm converting numbers to letters and letters to numbers. So if I was to say then that the number 1 equaled the word like self, just as a key word, it means me, individual, leader, boss, owner, just the individual. And the number 2 represented cooperation. So get along with. Go slowly with it. Check the small stuff. Work with detailed stuff. No rush. This is cooperation. Get on together. And 3 is expressive. That number there represents to get out, to have fun, to do stuff, to talk, to laugh, to write, to play music, to dance. It's real expressive. That's what the number 3 represents. So I'm not talking about a number making something what it is. It is the label or the indicator, the symbol that says expressiveness. And I've used 3 in a word. Expressive. I could write the word 3, THREE, which still represents that as a number. So there's no big difference there. 4 equals discipline. It's a very square number, and it represents hard work, hands-on, down to earth, no nonsense, get on with the job. Farmer type people are people who are 4 type people. They like to work with their hands. Engineers, mechanics, anybody who does hands-on work with kind of a structured mind, no nonsense type people. That's a 4. 5, freedom. There's a key word for it. Because it means freedom, it means I like people, I like sales, I like marketing, I like moving, I like travelling, I like all sorts of stuff. Sometimes they're the jack of all trades and the master of none. But when you look at it, each number with its corresponding letters, 5, the letter E, the letter N and the letter W are all 5. E happens to be the 5th letter of the alphabet, but N is the 14th letter. 1 plus 4 equals 5. And W is the 23rd letter. 2 plus 3 equals 5. But the shape of the letter determines the meaning of that number. So we're now looking at a way of interpreting something which is words or numbers coming together representing an idea. They're not spooky. Again, numerology is not about numbers. It's a language. And we link numerology with metrology, and now you have a greater understanding. It's like a new invention creates greater inventions. You can't get these other inventions until this one has been invented. 6, responsibility. Now, this means I'm in charge of, I take care of, I'm responsible for, the teacher over the children, the policeman over his community, the politician over their constituents. 6 is kind of like the bully or the bossy one. They take charge, and these people often become very, very wealthy. So that particular number does mean wealth. Now, when I said bully a moment ago, I really meant that. They are the bullies as well on the planet. And because 98% of people are negative, which is what I mentioned earlier on up in here, human engineering I think it was, we have a lot of people who have these particular patterns in their makeup, or these identities, and they have a nature like that. So, responsibility. 7, key word is wisdom. People who contemplate, think about things, they listen a lot, they like to take information in. And in a hall, you're instructing them, they've usually got their head tilted to the side like this, trying to pick up more information. And when you're talking to them about things, they sit there literally blank-faced. In a meeting, they might be just blank-faced and someone says, haven't you got something to say, Peter? And I'd go, yeah, I'm just thinking it through, I need more information yet. And these people just take in, they do all of their work up in their head here. 8, authority. Now, with authority, strength and power. When you start to look at this particular element, you're looking at those who are in charge of things at a larger scale. Very, very powerful people. And you're looking at under 8, the letter H, letter Q, and the letter Z. 26, 17, and 8 in this respect, respectively. These letters here particularly indicate a position of, or a person of, that has strength about certain things. Now, because most people are negative again, our prisons are filled with people with that number. 8s. So when I mentioned the word Brian earlier on, the word Brian represents 8, B-R-I-A-N. B is the second letter of the alphabet. R is the 9th letter. I is the 9th letter. A 9 number, that's the 18th letter of the alphabet. 18, 1 and 8 is 9. A is the first letter over here, and N is the 14th letter. 1 and 4 is 5. There. If you add Brian up, 2 and 9 is 11, 20, 21, 26. 2 plus 6 equals 8. So when you're looking at this, what you're starting to find out is that words converted to numbers identify an event or a fact, and it happens all the time. Wendy is an 8 name, for example. Helen is an 8 name. When you start to get these particular names coming together, like Clive or Eric, they're also 8 names. They are people who've got a brain on their head. They're smart, they're powerful. Interesting when I say that, if I was to write brain up there, B-R-A-I-N, it also equals 8, if I just by changing those two over. The word, for the word brain, if the word brain equals 8, the word think, T-H-I-N-K, also sums to the number 8. Isn't it interesting how these two words relate to a similar type area in the body and the brain? We invented computers, and we store the information on a hard drive. The word hard drive adds up to 8. The word data, the information that it thinks with, basically, as a computer can think, it works with algorithms. The word think adds up to 8. The word God adds up to 8. Karma adds up to 8. Whoa, this is fascinating. Yes, it is. We go further down to number 9, the last number in the last column. And here we have service. When we're looking at this here, 9 being the whole number, the last one before we go to double digits, which reduces itself back to 1 again, because after 9 you get 10, and 1 plus 0 equals 1. So 1 to 9 are your key base numbers. Having a knowledge of that, we can now associate 9 with completeness, providing service for, understanding the bigger picture about things. Gentle souls, really, very good in business because they understand the whole concept. But when you start to go into this particular number here, and you find that the sun and the earth have a harmonic of 9. Sun revolves once on its axis, earth does 27 times. 3 9s are 27. There's a word called Saros, S-A-R-O-S, which relates to the pattern of stars when a person is born on the earth. 18 years later, 1 and 8's 9, 18 years later, those star patterns are in an identical position. 18 years. The sun is moving around the galaxy at 450,000 miles per hour. 450, 4, 5, 4 and 5 is 9. And even the word sun, S-U-N, sums to the number 9. 1, 3 and 5. 1, S, 3 for you, and N is 5. And so therefore that adds up to 1 and 4, 3 is 4 and 5 is 9. So when you start to get down to the metrology and the numerology per se here, I now form graphs and I can plot and plan a person's life, tell them what they're like, what they're doing, what to look out for things along the way, and even how to avoid a problem. So numerology is not a frightening subject, it's literally a map of the future. It also has mapped the past, and because we know we have a past and it's recorded in memory, and or it could be written down in diaries or evidence anywhere, it's still a pattern that this particular subject identifies without knowing this material ahead of time, but drawing it up in the moment. I can then extend the pattern ahead. So this particular subject can tell me ahead of time, knowing these key factors here, that using language, which is what enables us to think with, we can use that as a tool now to help overcome problems ahead. Is this getting interesting? This is what I've been doing for 40 odd years, and it still fascinates me today. So I'm here to help people, and that's another reason why I thought when I was running for mayor in 2019 here in Auckland, it was because people wanted me up there because I can think. I have a solution for the earth pollution. It's a piece of cake. It really, really is. We don't have climate crisis. That's crap. Start to study the sciences. The sun dictates what's going on. We have pollution, yes, but not climate change. We didn't do that. Transport, city design, people for engineering, health systems, financial systems. This covers everything. But unfortunately, conspiracy exposure is what I found out when I was running for it last year, and I now know what takes place up there. So people manipulate things, which is why we've got to get a clean government and have transparency and honesty and integrity in there. So maybe you're a bit more interested in that now. I'm going to take this off, but going to go to the next one, health and the organs. And I'll be using a bit of this former knowledge to get to that point before we come down to the last stage. Thank you for watching. I'm enjoying having you on board. petervaughan.net for my website, and peter at 111webnet.com will get hold of me if you want to send me an email. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being my audience. Cheers. See you soon in the next clip. Bye.